welcome everybody to Michigan Avengers 101. I got the pleasure of sitting down with the man himself, LJ Harrison, one of the top players in the city of Detroit. I think one of the best players, one of the best guards in the city of Detroit, man. This guy gonna keep it 100. He gonna talk his trash, but he always backs it up, man. So with that, we're gonna get right into it, man. First of all, we just, let you introduce yourself to people who don't know who you are, who LJ is, and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yep, so obviously everybody know me as LJ. Man, I've just been into sports since I was young. Try to make everything short and sweet. Went to Southwestern High School, played basketball there. It was good, all city there, went to college. First team all league there, played overseas about 3 years. And then built this thing that I got now, me and my brother. And right now I'm technically classified as a world-class trainer because I have a champion on my hands as far as my brother. I train people from all over the world as far as like boxing, and I also got football players, college, NFL, NBA players, overseas players. So I do a little bit of everything. So right now I'm just enjoying just training and just staying fit, man. Staying competitive and staying fit.
I'm glad you brought that up. This is my first time over at Super Bad Boxing Gym. And this place is amazing, man. Man, shout out to you and your brother, man. Holding the legacy down for your pops, man. This place is just awesome, man. I might start coming over myself and try to lose some weight and tighten some things up.
Yeah, for sure.
But, man, this place is nice, man. I'm gonna ask you. Let's start off first with. Of course, this is the Michigan Avengers 101. A lot of people don't know, when I first started the Michigan Avengers team, I spoke with LJ from the beginning, and we talked about doing something different in the city and kind of trying to expand of playing different guys. To piggyback on that, LJ is part of a team called East to West here in the city that's one of the top teams in the city, if not the top team in the city right now. I think you guys have won every championship in every league in the city last 2 years, and that's a big step. That's a big statement to make, that y'all won every championship in every major league in the city. And I will say, to me, Detroit is one of the top places as far as basketball, mecca of basketball. So the leagues here are like super competitive with some of the top players. You have players from overseas coming home, pro players coming and playing in a lot of leagues here. And these guys that won every league for the last 2 years. So me and him was chopping it up one day, and I was like, kind of sick of seeing the same guys play the same guys all the time. Let's see if we're good enough to go to some of these other states and things like that and play some of these other top players and see where we wouldn't stand. And that's where it started with wanting to do the semi-pro thing. And of course, LJ was so busy with with the boxing, and his brother at the time was getting ready for a championship fight and everything, so he wasn't able to come and play with me. But just give me your opinion on what you think about the Avengers and where we are, where we stand, And like we said, we're gonna keep it 100. So if some guys that's on the team, if you say some things about you, that just means you gotta step your game up.
Yeah. I think the event. First of all, I think what you're doing, like I told you before, is good. Me personally, my mindset is, when I'm a competitor, I think that no matter what you're doing, if it's rec league or the Avengers, which is semi-pro, right?
Yeah.
Right. So semi-pro to me, which is professionally, there's no such thing as semi-pro.
Right.
But you got the rec leagues, you got semi-pro, you got college. Whatever it is, it's supposed to be serious. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what you're doing with the Avengers is a good name. You got these guys trying to compete and earn spots. The only thing that I would say that, for me, when I come to the games, I've been to a few. When I come to the games, is this stepstone is supposed to be, from when I was playing overseas, supposed to be a stepping stone to help guys get over the next level, right? So my thing is, I think running it good as far as the organization, and with like an NBA team or a professional team running 10 or 12 players to each team. But I think at this level with the semi-pro, I think what you need to do is have. My only thing is, I think you probably need to have maybe cut some players, not cut them, but maybe like limit the roster to maybe 8 players. But I also know it's harder because when you're traveling, you got to work, so you got to have some extra bodies on deck.
Right.
But my thing is when you got guys, because this is really a stepping stone for a lot of these guys. You know what I'm saying? So when you got 10 to 12 players on a team at a game that's looking to play, I think me personally kind of doze off a lot of guys.
Right.
A lot of guys just can't handle that. To tell you the
Right.
truth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys gonna come 1 minute, they gonna be like, I ain't messing with it, or whatever the case is.
True.
So kind of like me, what I do with East to West is I like to try to hold my team at 8 players. You know, so that way everybody for sure know they role. They for sure gonna get a clock. They for sure gonna get enough time on the camera to send to a team
Right.
overseas or whatever like that. But okay, so for example, if you got a guy like into the last game, there's 2 dudes I didn't know. But if you trying to play them, then you take away minutes from Trey or Dane Haynes, who could possibly still get overseas right now today with the film that y'all doing with the Avengers.
Right.
Y'all in a real professional league. You know what I'm saying? So that would just be me on my take of what I see with the Avengers. But as far as like how it's ran, A1, you know, you got your coaching staff, you got statistics, you got your cameras, you got everything set up to where when a team look at y'all, they will say, oh, this is legit. Like, this ain't just no pick them up and just go home tomorrow. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got the uniform. You're making these guys feel like they're a part of something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I try to do East to West. I try to get jerseys every other, you know, lead or something. I just want the guys to feel like, even though it's kind of red or semi-pro, it means something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think you do an excellent job at that.
Appreciate that.
You know what I'm
Now, with speaking of East to West, we're gonna take a little turn. We have a couple players on our team that's part of East to West team, which is Michael Jackson, Day Haynes, and Justin McKinney are part of East to West team that believed in what I was building. From the beginning, I talked to those guys, and it was like, Coach, if you want us, we in. You know, we're gonna rock with it 100%. Let's speak a little bit about those guys. What do you think about Day Haynes' game?
The minute I saw Day Haynes, well, this was like the summer before I built East to West, before I came to even anybody with East to West. I had already had my mind on Day Haynes. He was, I think, the running record in the PPL. He went after every rebound, every block shot. I mean, his intensity was good. He wasn't complaining about coming out the game. He wasn't complaining about getting the ball. You know, he don't really need the ball to be effective. And to me, that's how I play. I want guys that can be effective without necessarily needing the ball. You know what I'm saying? All 3 guys is just like that. But, you know, we talking about Dave, but his intensity is like second to none, you know what I'm saying? And I think for his size, and the way he run, his motor, his relentless, I mean, like, he just relentless, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to find in a big fella, you know what I'm saying? So you got to definitely just deal with the Avengers getting a big fella like that. You know what I'm saying?
We call Dave Mr. Highlight Film because they catch a body in every single game. He's gonna catch him a body or 2. Actually, Day is actually leading the team in scoring right now. He's one of the top players and the captain of the team. So with having Day, man, I love Day's game. I actually get to interview him next week. We have to postpone his interview, but I love Day's game. Day is an animal. He's one of the most vocal people on the team. With that, what do you about Justin McKinley?
Justin is a great me. I don't know a lot of guys, but you ask me, Justin is a great basketball player because he plays at a very high level as far as IQ.
Now I'm gonna tell you this, not to cut you off. I feel, and this is coming from a coaching perspective, Justin is probably my most valuable person on the team.
I can agree with that.
Justin is probably the best player on the team as far as the game, as far as knowing the game and the multiple things he can do on the floor.
I mean, just think about it. How else it's not often you find somebody that's 6'6", 6'7", that's strong, can check a guard, can check a post, can pass the ball good, can shoot the 3, put the ball on the floor, don't need touches, very effective. He's not going to just shoot 100 shot. He might shoot 10, miss 4. You know, so if he's shooting 60, he's going to get you a good percentage. He's going to come out, he's going to be a leader. I mean, that's...
Now, do you think he's aggressive enough?
Not at times, no. I tell him, even on my team, I tell him, like, shoot the ball. You know, he got this thing, pump fake all the time. I'm like, he'd be more dangerous in
if he just attacked.
Oh man, like if he just shoot the ball to make people just even consider that he really want to shoot because he can. So if he even just tried to do that a little bit more, I mean, we would be unstoppable. That's like a whole different avenue for your team and East to West. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, sometimes I forget he out there, and I be like, how can I forget that? And you the best player on the floor.
And that's the same way
You know
I
what I'm saying?
feel. Me and Justin have talks. You know, we watch game film. We talk after the game. I'm doing practice. We'll talk, and I'm like, Justin, you know, you can have 20, 10, and 5 a game
Every night. Every night.
But it's I love Justin because he's so unselfish.
Yeah,
His
he
thing
is
is,
unselfish.
you know, let me get some of these other guys going, and then I'll get mine when I get mine. So I love Justin's game, and then that brings us to Mr. Hollywood himself, Mr. Trash Talk himself, man.
Right.
I will tell you guys this. Everybody in the Maximum Basketball League, which is the league we play in, it's a professional league. Everybody is gunning for Mr. Jackson because he talks more trash than anybody I know. But one thing I say is he backs it up.
You do.
And there's nothing that you can say to him.
Right.
I tell a lot of people, and you know him a lot, know him quite well. The more you talk to him, the worse it makes you.
Yeah,
Makes it for you.
They do.
You know, he reminds me of Michael. You know, if you be quiet and leave him alone, he might have 15 or 20 points and kind of going on with the game. But the minute you start talking trash to him, now it's like that 15 is about to go to 30 or 35, or maybe 40. What are your takes on Mr. Jackson?
I told Quill when I made East West, you gonna be the man. This is your team. Because he has that type of ability to affect the game. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about Quill definitely is it's definitely to a point where like literally I've seen him do it. Like, it could be where I'm gonna always play my same game. I'm gonna give you whatever I give you, rebound, steals, whatever, trash. He one of the players like literally if you talk to him, you really wake him up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're
So
in trouble.
You in trouble. But Quiz is a very, very valuable player. Like, you know what I'm saying? He slide, he plays defense too, plays both ways, very physical. He's gonna wear you down, you can score, you can shoot. You need a Quill to win the game. You know what I'm saying? I made that clear when I got the team. Like, there's gonna be games where we might carry you, but we don't win without you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes like we agree Justin probably the best player, but when it comes to just who you need to win, it has to be Quill. You know what I'm saying? So definitely worth whatever somebody's trying to pay him or whatever lead you're trying to get him, you're trying to win, you definitely need him on the team. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly think that Quill is probably one of the best, if not the best, scorer as far as just going out there and getting a bucket that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Because he can score in different aspects of the game. You can't put a guard on him because he's going to back them down and punish them. You put a big on him, he's going to go right by them. Yeah. He can shoot the ball, so it's hard for you to...
From what I've noticed with Quill just playing with him, because all these guys can score. You know what I'm saying? I don't dissect what somebody can do that everybody can do for the most part. What I noticed about Quill just playing with him is he's literally one of the best closers I've ever played with. Like as far as like when it's tight, because there be times, keep it real, be times at the end of the game where if I'm not feeling good, I don't even want the ball. I'll be like, I just ain't got my. Regardless if Quill made 10 shots in a row or if he's gonna probably make that play, like whether he on the post or whether he's hit the three, and that's been plenty of times I've just been like, I'm not taking it like you take it, Quill. And he didn't even shoot the ball, you know what I'm saying, all game, but he hit that shot.
He actually told the league Friday, they did the owner of the league called him and talked to him and asked him a couple of things. He told them, and they can quote me, "This is my league now. This is my league now, and you can put my face on the franchise of the league because this is my league now."
That's good. I mean,
and it caused so much controversy. We had teams from everywhere, Texas, chiming in saying that
and he gonna prove it too. That's crazy. The second they see him, they gonna come for him, and he gonna show why he's saying that.
Well, it happened. We had a game a couple weeks ago against the Chicago Legends, and they have been on Facebook and on the pages talking back and forth, all week that they'll never lose to a Detroit team. They'll never lose to a Michigan team because they have played a couple other teams in the league that's from the city. And I kept telling them, like, we're built different. Like, we're just not what you played in those other teams. Nothing, against those teams, but this is a whole different breed over here. And they went back and forth with them, and they got here, and I think he had 40 that game. And you can't do nothing but respect the guy like that. You got to respect the guy like that shows up and backs it up. Now, I'll ask you this. What do you think about some of the younger guys that's on the team? Like, I don't know if you know Rashard.
Yeah, I like Rashard game. To me, just don't. His motor is not matching his potential. To me, his motor don't match his potential. You know, and actually, what's crazy is he was supposed to go to the college I went to. My coach was calling me non-stop, to try to get him. Yeah, and I talked to him a few times. I think I might have been overseas. I can't remember. Might have been out done overseas. But this was Rashard. I think Rashard went to school in Oklahoma or something. It was somewhere out that way.
Okay.
And my coach was trying to get him. And he was asking, like, you know Rashard? I said, yeah, I know him. He was, can you please get him? I ain't heard that. I ain't heard my coach being like that since he was trying to get me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And he wanted Rashard bad, and you know, something had happened where it didn't fall through. But you know, and I think that's just kind of a testament to what I'm saying. Like for some reason, you know, Rashard geek you up. Like he get you there. That's what I see when he get you. Even when I'm checking him, he get you there, and he just disappeared. And I'm like, well, I want to check somebody out. I think he's going. All the time.
The thing was
Shard. Yeah, like let me see. Shard. I want to see what everybody was saying. Show me Shard. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do it for 2 plays,
and then
he just get real quiet.
Shard
you know
all the time, LJ. It's funny. I said if you had 5% of Quayle's dog in you,
he don't man with his size and skill, he don't even need that much.
If he had 3%,
give me 2.5. Give me 2.5. Really, because he can score at will. Yeah. He can really score at will. With his size, he's strong, he's big. And he just be moping around.
Like he just goes through the motions.
Yeah. And
like right now, Shard, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's averaging 16. 16
and that's going through, and that's just going through the motion.
And that's going, and you'll be like, man, Shard had 16.
He's right. And I'm like,
you sit there like, you know, I don't remember, you know.
I don't. He one of them guys. You look up, he gonna average 18. He gonna tell you like average 18. Somebody gonna be like, no, you ain't.
Right.
You look up, and he's like, he average 18. And it's because he really just do the right stuff. He can really score. But if he really gave like at some type of intensity and some type of just through the game,
a little bit of dog,
a little bit. Give me 2.5. He already averaged 18. Give me 2.5 on top of that.
Yeah.
And you got 27, and you don't even know it. You know
now I'm gonna tell you, my favorite person on the whole team is Rock. D'Angelo Carlson.
I know Rock.
Rock
play hard.
Rock gonna give you 110% every moment that he's on the floor. He's not gonna complain about not starting. He's not gonna play, but he's gonna give you 110%.
He do.
And his motor it goes constantly.
Oh, yeah, good motor.
If it's you know, he's the coach. Yeah, they don't want to guard. Put me in. I want the best player. Let me guard the guard. You know, I love Rock's game.
I think last week was actually my first time really checking him in a real game.
Okay.
With his team, but I seen him play all the time. But I mean, me actually checking him, he do got a good motor.
Yeah.
He, you know what I mean, he getting up and down. He gonna play hard, and that's exactly what you said. That's what he do. He gonna play hard. He gonna compete whether he win or lose. Whether he got 10 points or 30. He gonna play the same. He trying to go at you. He's trying to compete. He playing hard for sure. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the type of guy I can play with. Whether I win or lose, I want to play with somebody who's gonna compete just as hard as me.
Right.
All the time. Somebody who's gonna be unselfish, come out, come back in, do the same thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And then we have our point guard, Greg Chase. Greg is kind of under the radar.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Greg.
Greg played at Cass. He played with Jeremy when he was there.
He that old?
Yeah.
I can say that because he's my age.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out.
But G is kind of low key. But being honest with you, G is kind of the glue that holds it all together. You know, because he's one of those guys that, you know, I converted him into, you know, running the point, but he's not.
But he wasn't there when I was coming.
Yeah, he don't care.
No, I don't think the guy you talking about was there when I was coming. The last game I don't remember him. He might have been there. But I don't remember.
Number one.
See, when I was coming, I only came the last game. He probably did start, but the game before I came to, he wasn't there. I don't remember being there.
Yeah, he's always starting. He's always starting 5 is Greg, Day, Justin, Shard, and Q. Those have been the starters.
I can literally remember the game I came to, Trey started.
Trey ain't started again.
Trey started, man. When I came out to, what game was that? It was out in Roseville. Yeah.
At the school when we played out there, Frazier. Yeah, G has always started.
No, Trey started that game, bro.
No, Trey has never started. Trey always comes off.
Trey, I came late.
Yeah, Trey might have been playing.
I came late.
Trey might have been
Trey was playing, right. I came late. I wasn't there on time.
G has always been a starter. But G is quiet. He don't talk. He don't say much. You know, he really goes under the radar. of course, with having those guys like Justin Day and Shar and all those guys, you kind of get overlooked. But he's honestly, you know, he's the glue that holds it all together. You know, he don't care about getting buckets. He don't care about, you know, he just want to win.
And that's your point guard, right? So that's what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, he don't care nothing about you know, all those other things. He know he got a team full of guys that can put the ball in the bucket.
That's point guard job.
So for him, it's like, okay, let me make sure that we you know,
the
we
right
run the
spots,
offense,
everybody
make sure guys are where he's supposed to be, and I you know, I love him. We just picked up a couple of new guys that.
Dre, I picked up Dre.
Dre Bell is with us now. What do you think? You think that's a help having Dre Bell with us now?
Yeah, Dre Bell. I like he's definitely a good shooter. Obviously, he's gonna spread that flow out for you.
Right.
And when you got somebody like him that spread the flow out, obviously it make 12 game easier and day game easier. And now the paint ain't really gets clawed because a lot of times, just realistically speaking, teams probably their best bet would be to clog the paint because it ain't like you got a shooting team.
Right.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
got guys that can score.
That can score, right. So
Yep.
when you got Dre, you know you have a shooter, somebody that has to stay on him, that's one less person you got to worry about. Yeah. You know, trying to clog up that lane. So I think Dre is a good pickup. I can't remember what else I seen. It was
King.
King, you're right.
King is with us now.
Yeah, he's still raw. He's still, you know, he's still young. Yeah, he's still raw. Definitely gonna play.
But those are the kind of guys that I like, though. I like the young guys that are raw, that I can help mold and I can help get to, you know, to help polish their game and make their game better.
Because he willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? Even when I talk to him about this game, you know, he come to me like, "What you think, bro?" I'm like, you know, so anytime you get a young guy that's not full of himself, you know,
and a lot of these guys in the city are. No disrespect to a lot of these guys, but
you
know, a lot of these guys out here think they way more than what they are. You know, I keep it 100. You know, and for me, I've been coaching for a long time. You know, a long time at multiple levels. From Pee-wees, you know, to now pro guys. I mean, I currently coach at high school now. A lot of these guys think they're bigger than what they are.
They do.
You know, and now we're gonna get to the point where we're gonna start keeping it real. We're gonna be 100. There's a lot of guys that when I first started this and wanted to have tryouts, guys thought they were too good to come to tryout.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's bad. I think either you're gonna play or you're not gonna play. I don't think you should ever get to a point where you feel like you're too good to try out for something that you know you really want to do.
Right.
You know, I think a lot of times, to them, because Detroit just so messed up mentally, it's like, oh, it's a semi-pro. Like you playing for the semi-pro, so people look at it kind of like it's not worth nothing. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing that's funny: you go to pay to play in every rec league in the city.
Yeah.
You know, but pay your money.
But see, let me tell you the difference. The difference is because, like I told you earlier, the semi-pro is basically supposed to be like a professional. So that's how Detroit guys, when they think professional, the lowest you're supposed to go is overseas. But really, like I told you, your lead is a great stepping stone. It's better than, I know a lot of guys that go on tours. Right. You're really probably not going to get nothing out of that tour. But if you was consistently playing in the professional league in Chicago or Dallas or whatever, and you can average these numbers day Haynes, you got a great chance of getting overseas. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of people don't understand that that's my goal.
Yeah,
you know, me and my wife and everybody, when we started this, our goal was to help some of these guys that want to get to the next level, get to the next level.
And that's
I'm on the phone constantly talking to, you know, agents and trying to get agents and trying to get, you know, to help some of these guys that want to get there to get to the next level. So for me, it's not just we just going to hoop, you know. No. You know, but these guys were actually thought they were too good, and now that they see that we're rolling,
now everybody want to play.
Now everybody's calling. Can I get down? Can I play? Can I, you know, is there a spot coach? Can I
guess my answer would be no.
And I'm good. I'm good with the group that I got right now.
That's it.
Because these guys been here for day one. They're hungry. They still want to play. They buy into what we're doing.
Nah, you do know though, eventually though, because you're doing your job, you ain't gonna have these players forever.
I know that.
Oh, okay.
I already know that. Here's the thing. Okay. My goal, and when I started it, was if these guys can get the foundation started,
what you doing,
and get it rolling. I don't want these guys to be here because eventually, guess what? My goal is I don't want to coach anymore at this level. I want to get to the business end of it because I want the Michigan Avengers to grow to a point to where I'm selling out, you know, some of these college arenas and some of these things. So I need to focus on the business end of it. So I want some of these guys.
But why?
Because here's my look at it like this. Outside of the Pistons, we don't have anything else that's really tangible basketball-wise outside of a lot of, and I love Detroit as far as the rec leagues here because I think it's the best basketball played hands down anywhere, is the rec leagues that's here. But if we had something on the stage to where we can have some of these Dallas teams and these Tennessee teams and these teams coming in to play some of our top dogs in the city. Now it's growing, because for me, I don't ever want anything to be stagnant or it starts here and it ends here. I always want to evolve, I always want to grow. So if I can get to the point to where, like you said, I'm getting 2 and 3 guys out of here and going overseas, and they're getting to play on a bigger stage,
So
a
why
bigger
wouldn't
level.
but I'm saying, if that's the goal, why wouldn't you want to keep coaching?
Because I think that there's some younger guys in here that might want to coach that I can bring up to get to that level, because I'm always about teaching and planting a seed in somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's a younger guy like a Quail, for instance, that I think will make a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
If I can get him to the point to after his career is done, he's done playing, and he can walk right into a coaching role at this level, then why not do that? Why not let these guys that I know that can be great coaches, and I can move up into a owner's role, which I am now, because a lot of people don't understand that behind the scenes of what it takes to run this Michigan.
I understand.
It's a lot. So I want to focus on that part of it and let some of these guys step into their call. Because I honestly think that like a you and a Quail would be great coaches.
No, I get you. I don't agree with what you. I don't. This is me. I don't agree with it.
Okay,
but I understand what you're saying.
Why don't you agree?
Because I feel like you're good at what you do, and I feel like for me personally, you know how people came here and knocked on these doors to try to expand me and what I'm doing, but I don't want to do that because I'm good at what I'm doing. I get more. I like being intimate with the people that I have.
But at some point, and I get it, but at some point, don't you want to bring one of these kids up that's.
But I do that. Listen, I do that daily. When I'm training them, I'm teaching them. That don't mean you're gonna take my job here. This is what I created.
Right.
Now you're gonna be good enough eventually. If you work hard, your time is gonna always come when it's supposed to.
Right.
Will's gonna get it probably. He might not get the Avengers, but he might get a better job off what you teaching him.
Which is, and I'm with that.
Right.
But
so what I'm saying, listen, if you sending, this is what I'm saying. I built a powerhouse in here. When you building a powerhouse like the Avengers, man, you sending 3-4 guys overseas every single year. Why would you walk away from that?
Because
why would you but that's your legacy. You know
at
what
some
I'm saying?
point, LJ, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm tired.
Okay, now that's
and
different.
I'm ready.
Okay, now that's different.
I'm ready to pass it on.
Oh, now that's okay. Now, okay, that's what I'm trying to get to.
I'm ready to pass it on.
Okay, now that's different
to somebody else.
That's different.
And I still oversee, and I still, like I said, run the business end of it. But I'm kind of.
That's different.
That's different to pass it on.
That's different.
Like, is it going to happen this year, next season? Like probably not. But then the next, couple
because
years,
you got some guys literally that are coaching until they just done. When they done coaching, they done.
Yeah, I want to get to the business end.
Okay, so that's different. Okay, so I didn't understand why you was like I'm like why if you building a powerhouse, like the Avengers gonna be known. You gonna get people knocking at your door. Like the Avengers gonna be known for.
Getting guys,
and they gonna be like
funny now because I get a lot of emails and calls from different pro leagues and stuff from all over now that's seeing us and noticing us and hey, y'all want to come come here, y'all want to come and it's like
and it's crazy that because that's a perfect example of what I'm saying is when you're doing things the right way and when you really putting in work. You're really not gonna have to knock at no agent's door. You can do it because it's your hustle.
Right.
But they gonna find you. Right. They gonna realize like the Avengers, they 13-0, they quilled and they gonna see that. These cats overseas, I see it in person when I'm at my coach's office and they looking like, you know what I'm saying? So they looking at USA semi-pro leagues.
What's going on?
Yeah, and they seeing Avengers 1. Who is this guy? And then that's how it started.
We actually
know what I'm saying?
Number 2 in the nation right now.
That's amazing.
In our league season, we're 6-0 right now.
You know how? See, and I tell people this all the time. Even Quill, I think when people get so good, they kind of forget how good they really are. Do you know how much hard work and how good you got to be number 2 in the country?
Yes.
I don't care what league you're in. I don't care what you're doing.
Yeah.
You could be playing Pop Warner football. Do you know how hard it is to be number two in the country?
That's tough.
That's telling you that these people is looking and they seeing what you're doing. So it's like you building something that's special.
Now let's speak on that. So we don't. What do you think about a lot of the leagues that's going on in the city right now? What do you think what's the top league going on right now in the city?
I mean, probably the IBA.
The IBA.
Yeah, probably the IBA.
And in the IBA, shout out to Keith in the IBA. Enough of respect to those guys, man.
Saint Cecilia got a good league too, but it probably ain't better than the IBA.
Okay, so in the IBA right now, I see you guys just got booted down to number two in the power ranking.
Right.
You guys have been number one for a long time.
Right.
How did that feel to see that you guys got booted? And we know it's numbers, you know.
Yeah, it's just numbers.
It's a numbers game because both of you guys are undefeated.
Yeah, we both
you know?
undefeated. Yeah,
so of course it goes by power, you know. I mean, margin of victory and things like that.
Technically, I wasn't mad because technically they do have a better schedule than us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm being realistic. It ain't like, oh, we supposed to be number one because we done won every league and we didn't. Like technically, if you looking at the IBA, they win. Their margin is larger.
Right.
They got a tougher schedule. They probably played one better team than us, but that's enough to get them to number one. Right. So
now, do you think? Because I've seen a lot of guys. Because I follow the IBA and the website. There's a lot of guys that's calling for that game to start. You know, for you guys to go to head to see who's number one.
Right.
What do you think? You ready for that matchup?
Yeah, I think we're ready for it whenever. I mean, obviously we ready for whoever, but I think but if you had that game, then what?
Right. Yeah. Because then
it's like the rest of the team.
Yeah.
The rest of the league is going to be
and the other
like,
team that's number one right now is Money Team, right?
Money Team number one, we number two. But okay, so let's say we had that game the next week, and then it's like that's the big game, and then what?
Right. I've always been the type, and shout out to Money Team, man. Those guys, Buck and those guys over there be balling. Number respect to those guys. Those guys be balling. You guys going head to head, I think I like to let it build up, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Let it build up.
Yeah, they're very you guys go head to head. That's the same thing in our league that we're in now. And like, there's teams from all over in the league we play in. Dallas, New York, Chicago, Texas, Georgia. I mean, there are teams everywhere. And everybody's kind of like, you know, they want to see the 4100 Elite, which is a team from Dallas, against us. And I'm like, okay, when it happens, it happens.
Yeah,
we see those guys
what you do is you feed y'all number 6s, number 7, number 3. You know what I'm saying? It's good enough to where y'all play good competition. So when y'all do me, it's like, well, if nobody left but y'all too. But if y'all play each other next week, it's like, all right, that's the big game.
Which the thing that I like about it is we won't see those guys. We won't see them unless until we get to maximum madness.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Like, madness, you want see those guys.
You want that shit building up where like when people. You know, like when they talk about it, it's like, man, that was like classic.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
And you guys have played each other before in a couple other leagues and stuff, so it's like
we beat them.
Everybody knows. So hey, I ain't keep it.